welcome once again to the Party of One podcast, the actual play RPG podcast where the gaming table is always set for two. I'm your host as always, Jeff Stormer, and this week on the show, I am joined by Adam Mack for a game of Last Shooting. Adam is one of the cast members of The Disappearances of Lydia Fountayne, a new mystery audio drama releasing on the Moonshot Podcast Network. It is a story about Lydia Ryan, whose mother goes missing, leaving behind a book that shouldn't exist, wrapping Lydia up into a conspiracy that surrounds the sinister Fountayne family and its quest for infinite knowledge. Presented through found footage-style surveillance recordings in the social media panopticon, it is a mystery about books, birds, and the life beneath the all-seeing electronic eye of the internet, which is nothing if not, unfortunately, extremely timely. The show is currently releasing new episodes. You can get it wherever you get your podcasts, or you can go to lydiadisappears.com for more information. And that link, as you guessed it, is available in the show notes. Adam is also GM of Feddie Scum, a Gundam fanfiction actual play podcast set in the Universal Century. If you're a fan of giant robot action, which I'm guessing you might be if you're listening to the rest of this episode, I think you're really going to enjoy that show. You can find more information about that at feddiescum.com, also available in the show notes. And speaking of the disappearances of Lydia Fountayne, we are playing today Last Shooting by friend of the show, multi-time guest Grant. We've played it on the show before. This is a game about a mech battle, about 3 legendary fights between 2 giant robots. The designer game, Grant, also a cast member on Lydia Fountayne. This game is genuinely one of my favorites of all time. I love it. I love the bidding mechanics. I love the way that it plays. I really can't wait for you to hear the game that we played. I think it was really remarkable. You can find more information about the game at mynameisgrant.itch.io or check the show notes for more information. Real quick before we dive in, a shout out to our newest Patreon backer, Nicole. Thank you, sir, for supporting the show, as all of the things that we do. Patreon backers, I want to talk to you about fun Patreon stuff. There's some things coming that I'm very excited about. The first and foremost being we are bringing back a show that I loved and that is kind of purely self-indulgent. We're bringing it back as a Patreon exclusive as an excuse to play games with people. And that is Jeff Stormer, Podcaster for Hire. This is a game of Characters Welcome that I play with my friends where I force them to run me through beach mysteries where I play myself as a podcaster getting roped into detective stories. I've also been doing a lot of solo gaming lately, and I'm really excited to kind of do some Party of None stuff. I need to figure out a way to make that feel less labor-intensive for me. I really loved putting together the full, soundscapes and things, but I found it was getting in the way of, releasing things, so keep an eye out for both of those. Patreon.com/JeffStormer. Easy way to support the show. You get some fun bonus stuff. You can find all of that and more at Patreon.com/JeffStormer. And with all that said, let's go ahead and throw it over to me in the past so that he can get started with the show. Take it past me. Thanks, future me. Today I am sitting down with Adam Mack. Adam, thank you so much for coming on Party of One.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
I could not be more excited. Before we get into the game, before we talk about what we're excited about, why don't you take a moment, let our lovely listeners at home know about anything you've got going on you might want them to know about.
Well, I am here on a mission to promote The Disappearances of Lydia Fountayne, which is an audio drama that is currently releasing and will be releasing when this episode is out as well. I'm a voice actor on it. I played the role of Miles Fountayne. It's a mystery kind of thriller set in the modern day, dealing with kind of themes regarding persistent surveillance in the information age, and fun things like that.
It's really good is the thing. It's a very good show. I've really, really enjoyed listening to it, and I'm very excited. I'm excited that it's finally out in the world.
Yes.
I know that there was a lot of excitement and anticipation about getting it out in the world, and now it's in that space where you kind of get to sit back and just hope that people find it and enjoy it. And some ways, in my mind, that is the most stressful, but also in some ways that's the best part because you're just now I get to sit back and let people shower me with praise.
Mm-hmm. You can listen to it wherever you would normally find podcasts. And also you can find more information regarding the show at lydiadisappears.com.
Now, relevant to the game that we're playing, we are playing a game called Last Shooting, and I hear that you have some experience with mech stories and mech fiction. Is that correct?
I may have a small amount of experience with GMing and mech fiction.
Say more about this fact.
Yes. I am the GM for about 5 or 6 years of Feddie Scum. It's a TTRPG actual play podcast set in the Universal Century. It plays friendly with canon, but it's pretty zany and wild. Like I said, 5 years running, we have a season that runs the entirety of the 1 Year War, about 79 episodes. We have a 0083 season, and we have a Zeta season that just wrapped up a few months ago.
That fucks extremely hard. So I'm going to throw you the biggest question in the world. Like I said, we're sitting down to play Last Shooting. It's written by friend of the show and Lydia Fountayne cast member Grant. It is a mech showdown RPG for 2 players. I'm going to throw this into your world. This is the journalist question. This is the gotcha. This is the gotcha question.
All right, I'm bracing.
What is it about mechs? Like, what is it about mech fiction that is exciting to you? Like, at a high level, what is it that draws you to the idea of the giant robot?
I think for me, it's different than what most people might answer. I think most people do chase a bit of a power fantasy kind of deal. But for me, it's more of the abstraction of combat, meaning being able to focus combat onto a singular character. It kind of heightens the drama, such as like you would in kind of classical warfare, where a knight might battle another knight, and that battle, that duel between them matters significantly more. Whereas in like more modern abstracted sci-fi, usually you have really high body counts where a spaceship gets destroyed and 2 million people were on it, or some ridiculous number like that. Giant robots bring that number back down and makes the conflict, it scales it down and makes it personal again, makes it dramatic again. And that's typically what drives me to mecha fiction in general.
I love that answer. That's a really phenomenal answer. And I feel like this game, I think, is going to like heighten that even more so, because, this is the moment in which like the two, this is our grand showdown, right? Like this is the two mech pilots that we've been following all season are staring against each other, and like it has all come down to this in a lot of ways. The war is on the shoulders of these two pilots, and I think like the stake, that heightening of stakes and that zeroing in, I think really pairs nicely with how this game plays. So like, I'll ask you this, like, as you've read through the rules, as you've sat with this, like, is there, what else is exciting you about this particular game, this particular experience? Like, where is your head at? What are you bringing to the table as we sit down to play?
I'm most excited specifically for how this system seems to just build your character up and then take all of that away from you.
Yes, extremely so.
I enjoy darker fiction that is kind of like soul crushing at times. I like a good cry.
I say who doesn't, but dear friend of the show, Noah Houlihan, who may or may not be listening, loves to describe a lot of Party of One as that's not a game, that's being sad, to which I say, you can go fuck yourself.
I also have a friend who really hates, he calls it misery porn. But I love a good tragedy.
I love here's the thing. I love sadness and being sad. I love an opportunity to just really kind of be down for a little bit. And I'm excited to, and like, there's the fictional element of also like, to me, putting these characters specifically through a ringer. I think it is and in a story like this, it is what kind of separates it from, like you were saying earlier, that power fantasy piece is like, the feeling like a god and then having that taken away and feeling the absence of that sense of security. That feeling of I am in some ways despite being in a 2-story tall, mech robot, I at this moment maybe feel the smallest I have ever felt.
I feel like I should add like an asterisk to my recommendation of Feddie Scum, because we're talking very deeply about like mecha as a genre here, and it's mostly fart jokes for a bit. You're gonna like, fair warning, it's very light and silly.
Listen, sometimes you need the fart jokes. Sometimes those things, all things in life, a balance.
It's all about contrast in art.
It is. It is the chiaroscuro lighting effect. It makes the brights make the darks look more popping and vice versa. I am stoked. Okay. I think I'm ready to dive in and beat the shit out of you, frankly. I think I'm ready to go. I say beat the shit out of you, but also, like, crucially, and you listener will see this as we play, most of the game is really us beating the shit out of ourselves to really specify this. Okay. So we begin with the opening. We have a data file in front of us. We have a character sheet, a blank character sheet with nothing on it. It's got a collection of like mechanical resources, personal resources, some extra things we can mix in, pilot credentials. All of these things are left completely blank because we don't know who we are. We don't know what mechs we're piloting, and we don't know what this war is about. That is where we're going to begin our story, is we are going to choose a pair of opposed goals. And these are going to be the stated goals of the factions in our war. This is going to set the stage for the combat that is unfolding. This is going to set the stage for the war in the stars that we are wrapped up in. There are some options here. We can make up our own. We've got a struggle for independence versus upholding safety, a necessary invasion versus the defense of our homeland, past glory versus the bounty of present. Are there anything on this list or any opposed opposites that you can think of that really feel that call to you, or that that you're pulled towards, or that you want to kind of examine a fictional conflict through a particular lens?
I really like the war has caused a rift in our faction. Now we fight amongst ourselves.
That's good. That's a good energy.
Love me a good interior conflict.
So then I think that the next step is like, of the 5 other options, or we can make up our own thing. What faction out do we occupy? Right? What is the larger war that is happening, and what faction do we both exist within?
I'm a sucker for like secession disputes where the overall, in the grander scheme of things, the conflict is relatively pointless.
Sure.
But there are ideas tied to associated with the different families. So like I think the Wars of the Roses, for example.
For sure. That's a good energy. I like that a lot. And I think like you saying family really kind of like put some spice on it for me, then like kind of put my head in a space of like the idea that maybe we are not. I'm gonna throw this in. I'm thinking this is cooking. I want to throw out that maybe the war hasn't started yet.
Okay.
That this is the war. That this is an internal implosion. We are in the pressure cooker of a Cold War, and we are 2 arms of a family, 2 segments of the military, 2 factions within a government, 2 forces that like amidst pulling a little bit on safety and stability versus almost safety and stability versus a necessary invasion of we are in a Cold War, right? I started reading the X-Men from issue 1 extremely recently.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's a wild ride, let me tell you. It's really fascinating to read, and really you get 2 issues in and it really pokes a hole in the idea that Stan Lee was like, oh yeah, no, I know what I'm writing is a metaphor, but and I'm thinking a lot about the 1/3 of a good movie that is inside of the movie X-Men First Class of of larger than life drama happening amidst the crisis of the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah, all right.
And I'm thinking like a schism occurs in that moment where it's like the world is paused and you could feel a pin drop, and somebody has made the decision no, this has to go hot. Like somebody has dove for the button and someone else is pushing to stop them from pushing that button. And that is what has brought us to this particular fight.
I see. Okay, so someone wants to meet whatever outside exterior force there is with lethal force, more or less. And
Right.
then another interior faction wants to try to temper the waters and calm everything down.
That's my big pitch. How are we feeling about that?
I like that. I like there being a war faction and a peace faction. And so it is a civil war between a war faction and a peace faction within just an uneasy tensions between two space superpowers.
All right. So we've got our conquest. We've got our fight. What's our motive? Why do our pilots get in the robot? What is it about our particular pilots that is driving us? There's a bunch of options here: career, compulsion, conquest. They've all got questions associated. I think this will also kind of point us towards which side of which faction we are associated with. But
yeah.
what makes you? Which of these options pushes you towards getting into a robot?
I think my character, who has yet to be named, will fight for glory. And that's probably going to push them onto the side of wanting the Cold War to go hot.
I like that a lot. So the question, what rewards await a hero of your stature? And that's going to be your motivation question.
I see.
Meanwhile, while you think on that, you said a thing that really made me push into a direction, and I think snapped into place for me. And I'm glad that you're kind of leaning towards the hot war faction, because in my head, especially as I look at this list, I'm drawn towards mercenary, and I am drawn towards the idea. Similarly to thinking about, the Cuban Missile Crisis and thinking a lot about spy fiction and just the idea that a Cold War is not necessarily purely there is still war happening. And I think the idea of a hired hand, a mercenary who is doing the wet work, the dirty work, the things that are not seen, the things happening below the surface, and really there's something very and so I guess I'm gonna throw this to you because I think there's two things that I'm sort of floating towards.
Okay, all right.
Do you feel like I'm going to give you two options and you tell me which one I'm running with here based on that pitch? Are you feeling mercenary or career? Which of those? I'm kind of half and half on either. So I'm saying I'm putting this into your hands. Which angle for a spy feels more compelling, to be a career soldier or a mercenary that has been brought in?
Mercenary, if you're on the side of trying to temper tensions, is interesting because you're all about doing the job that you were paid for originally at that point. And you were paid to guard somebody or protect something. Effectively, you paid to serve someone on or serve a goal on the side of maintaining peace, and now you're following that thread, even though potentially a bad business decision, frankly.
Yeah. I like that.
That's pretty
I think
compelling.
I think mercenary is because I think the idea that I have been brought in to, I've been a hired hand, a hired gun, and now that gun is being pointed at you and being pointed at my own side of the conflict and saying and partially, and it's a little bit of, yeah, look, it's going to keep the checks coming. If the war goes hot, then the army takes my paycheck and then the actual career soldiers come in and I'm perfectly fine with this because I'm making a very good living doing the things that everybody wants to pretend aren't happening. Like, that to me is very compelling.
That puts you in pretty good opposition to what I came up with, which is in terms of the rewards from glory. He is, not nobility or anything, space nobility, however we want to characterize it. If we want to go the space noble route, or if we want to go, corporate, we can flavor it that way as well. But potential rewards for doing well in the war, climbing the ladder, getting the equivalent of, assets, land, and a title, nobility.
I like that. I like that a lot. What I've written down for the answer to the question of what outfit paid your checks before this gig is that I've been paid by the collective to do the things that the collective likes to pretend aren't happening. And in a lot of ways, killing you and quashing this hawk movement, kind of the same thing. It's sort of a continuation of the work I've been doing.
The Hawk faction is a good. I know it's like very on the nose, but why not?
I'm gonna stick with the collective. I feel like that's just a good sci-fi, good sci-fi organizational name. Let's see. We've got name, call sign, mech, and production run. This is just our general, this is our credentials. These are our details. I'm getting the vibe that I am older. I get the vibe that I'm gonna write down. I was gonna write down 47, but I'm writing down 57. I typed 5 by mistake.
Grizzled old mercenary time.
I feel like I've been at this for an extraordinarily long time.
I need that uncaged ambition that comes with someone being 26. So I'm gonna go.
Sure, no, that feels right. That feels right.
With that.
My name is Cerberus Mulroney, call sign Cowpoke.
Good name.
I probably have had many different call signs, but the older I get, the more insulting the call signs become, and they feel like call sign is the most insulting name they can give me.
I see. Aaron Bellwright. I'm gonna go for
Aaron Bellwright's good.
And call sign. Well, if I'm trying to make a name for myself, it can't be too impressive yet. It needs to be on the way to being there. Upstart. Like someone
that
on
feels
a come
good.
Up. Yeah.
My mech's name is the Adjustments Deliverable. I think there's a deliverable for short. And I think it is very much a we have pretended that this machine that these machines have not existed for a very long time. Production run. This is like the style of mech. And I think production run is how many of these have been built. More than they should have.
They kept it on the download.
Yeah, this is and I think I'm excited to build on that thread. There's a thread here that the War Machine has acted in secret, and not to spoil where my head is at, but I will almost certainly at somewhere in here probably be bidding and maybe destroying, maybe leaving intact the secrecy of my operations.
Oh, okay, all right. Interesting. I think I want something that's more along the lines of, it's official, front-facing,
yeah, right, sure.
Military. And it would be. It's not necessarily a grunt suit. It's like the one that gets the command fin.
Yeah.
So it's going to be just a command type, very simple. Command type. What to name it?
I am visually thinking very, very mech warrior, very battle tech. very, I think the deliverable is very, I just pulled up images of MechWarrior, and I'm dropping a hot take. This is where you get to hear the hottest takes that I have.
Okay.
I'm looking at like the super recent MechWarrior game covers. These robots are too human-like. I don't like this.
Yeah, they started leaning more in that direction over time.
I'm looking at the MechWarrior 2 cover, where it's sort of a half ATST turtle thing. I feel like that's the vibe. This is very much like a box with legs and an ungodly amount of weaponry strapped to it.
Yeah, it's what made it like. I mean, like Western mechs have always had that like distinct flavor that they're less humanoid, and it is what makes it unique. It may not be everyone's jam necessarily, but that's still what makes it unique. So it's a shame to lean in the opposite direction. Just how I wouldn't want to necessarily want like Gundam to lean super far away from the humanoid. you want it to look like itself. It has built an identity, and you want it. And I think the deliverable, the deliverable is a box with legs and guns attached. Sounds good.
Partially because like they're not building this for, and I think this is the difference between our mechs, is that my mech is not built to be seen. You know what I mean? If people are seeing if there's documented evidence of the deliverable, then something has gone horribly wrong.
So leaning into like the very public face of it, I think mine is going to kind of be very like knight with a lance kind of setup.
Sure.
And we're just gonna call it Knight Gallant.
Knight Gallant's really fucking good. Knight Gallant hits.
Yeah. All right, yeah, we're pretty dead up. We're almost in different genres, which is great.
I think there's some, and I think that's really fun. Like, it's really fun to see extremely different genres take shape. If there is all right, cool. Well then with that, we've got our mechs, we've got our pilots. We can really begin our first scene. We're going to play through 3 scenes together.
Okay.
Over these scenes, we're going to do battle. We are going to go to war against one another. We have a series of background questions. I think what I would like to, each of us will answer the 3 background questions for our pilot, and then we'll set the scene together, and then we'll do an auction. We'll talk through what the auction looks like when we get there. But some questions for both of us. How long have you been a pilot? Have the 2 of you met on the battlefield before? And how do you feel about your faction, and who knows it?
I think my guy is, he's probably been a pilot for maybe 3 or 4 years. He definitely is still, like, just coming out of that green behind the ear, territory, getting some experience under his belt. And I imagine your guy has a lot more years.
Yeah, I have lost the feeling. I have lost the feeling of the world shaking when a battle is happening.
Background noise.
Yeah, it has faded into a warm static. Have we met on the battlefield before? Is a very compelling question.
Well, we were on the same side before this faction split,
Right.
So I think possibly.
I think even if we didn't meet on the battlefield, we've probably I don't know if we've directly spoken. But I do think we probably at the very least were in the same, docking bay or in the same training facilities. And there's a degree of this is a military thing, and also I think this is true of any sizable organization. When you see someone and they are so far away in a company, and their role is so far away that they may as well be on a different planet. I think in my mind that is where our characters have crossed paths before.
Yeah, I think Aaron might have seen Mulroney's Merc unit do something or hear about it, but I don't think he probably remembers your name.
Sure. I really hear about it, and I like the idea that there's been a lot of secrecy to my work, but something's word of something spread.
Yeah, at least within the military,
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about your faction? I think it's been pretty clear I think I've had some meetings where I've been called into some offices because I am a little too flippant. And if you ask Cerberus, if you ask Mulroney what the reasoning for the meetings are, he's like that he gives the very boomer, kids can't take jokes. But I think the specific jokes are, he has a particular joke about, look, if somebody else offered me a paycheck, I'd be gone tomorrow. And I think, that's a joke that if you're in the military and you make that a little too loud, you get called into an office and you have a talk with somebody.
I think Aaron is very vocal about being loyal, and I think he at least believes it at the moment. We might get to a point where he doesn't, but since he sees the war as an opportunity,
sure.
He is very pro his faction, and is probably very torn up that it has come to a civil war of sorts, a split between his own faction before it can get to the proper war that he wants to fight.
I really like that. That's good. Okay. So, we've got our questions. Now let's set the scene. Establish the first significant encounter between our pilots. We have some suggestions. We can come up with our own encounter. This is a sudden evacuation, an ambushed convoy encountering a scouting party. What pops into your head as the situation where we both clash for the first time?
One of the key politicians on the peaceful collective side of this conflict has been assassinated as part of a plot to make it go hot. A false flag operation, I think. And the Hawk faction is trying to capitalize on this move-in, but also Aaron specifically is tasked with the protection detail of one of the key political figures of the Hawk faction and getting them out of whatever government facility or station this was taking place in. And I suppose you may be on the opposite side of that.
Yeah, that feels really good. That feels great. I really so there is again, and it is the arc of everything made. It is the macro made micro of, the war is happening. We are zooming in on this moment. The fight is happening. People are scrambling. Hawks are scrambling to get their resources in place. And amidst this, a carrier flies overhead. A carrier floats in. And a chute or a bay opens, and colossal, what look almost like bunker buster bombs drop, and then legs spring out of them, and guns pop out, and it is clear that there is a targeted strike here while they are scrambling, and this is what you have been deployed to protect. Whether they knew it was going to come from their own side or not, this is what it's come down to.
Mm-hmm. I think that within your circle, there probably would have been rumors that oh hey, that hawkish faction is getting really active, is really pushing the envelope, is really testing the boundaries. They might be up to something. So it makes sense.
Something needs to be done, and something needs to be done about this particular political leader. And once the check cleared, here we are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, fuck yeah. My mech is dropping out of the sky. The night gallant is staring up at it, weapons in hand. Now we go to battle.
All right.
We start. We call in, or we start by what is it? What is the first phrasing? It's all poker term. We start by buying in. The first step of the auction, we both place a bid. We pick one of the undefined items on our data file. For reference, we've got several sections. Those include mechanical resources, so your tactical specialty, your alternate mode, mobility systems, sensors, utility equipments, weapons, appearance. You've also got personal resources, so your rank, your abilities, your crew, your social stratum, your signature maneuver, a hobby, a loved one. You pick one of these blank prompts, and you're going to bid to define it, which means you are going to state that it is an item and that it can be destroyed later. To buy into the fight, we must both place a bid. So choose one of the items on your data file and define it.
I think it's good to start with signature weapons, personally. I'm going to say it's like a cannon lance of sorts. So a gun lance, in a way.
Yeah, right.
Possibly with thrusters to kind of go, to lance faster.
I am trying to decide if I want to choose a signature weapon, or if I want to go with an entirely different direction. I am opting in to the I am tagging my alternate mode, which is covert ops mode.
Okay.
Signal jammers and stealth technology. This is a mech that is built to not be recorded, not be spotted, not be detected. It is a mech that is built to do the job and leave no evidence behind. And the covert ops mode is its way of doing that. I described it as just like dropping a crate or like dropping a box, and I think it is exactly that. Like, it is, almost when it's condensed into a box, it's almost got like a Faraday cage where you can detect no electronic signals within it.
Yeah.
Until it springs out its legs and it starts going to work.
Yeah, as far as I know, it's ammunition in that box or something.
Yeah. Yep. Great. Okay. So, these boxes are falling out of the sky. You've got your cannon lance in hand. What is Aaron doing? And as you describe that, talk to me about like raises. Raises are, how deeply invested you are in the fight. Whoever raises more or raises more definitively at the end of the fight wins the battle. We may not place a bid to destroy, except in the case of a tiebreaker rule. So right now, we're just defining things about our mechs and clashing. So, how are you reacting as boxes are falling out of the sky from an unseen carrier? And what are you defining on your character sheet?
I think I'm going to raise by throwing like a chaff grenade of sorts. And that's gonna make it so that just how you are kind of not detected at the moment, the last visual signatures you see of Aaron and whoever he is attempting to protect in this detail are also obscured beyond that initial line of sight.
I like that. I really like that. Great. Chaff grenades go off. I think chaff grenades go off. The sort of stealth equipment in the deliverable goes like haywire, and I think that as that chaff kind of pops off, the electronics goes haywire. The mechs are exposed, and I am tagging in my squad mates. This is the tactical elimination unit. This is, we watch all of these, you, Aaron, see all of these boxes turning into mechs, right? Like, the systems start to fail and suddenly legs kind of sprawling out of the bottom and gun arms sort of flop out of the side and shoulder cannons emerge and these sort of two-legged turtle-shaped things pop up, and it is clear that a hit squad is like dropping on your head.
Awesome. I mean, not awesome. The opposite of awesome.
And I think we get a shot of Cerberus from the inside of his mech. I've been holding a pen in my hand between my two fingers and sort of waving it like a cigarette, and I feel like that feels right, okay, even on the inside of the cockpit, which is a terrible place to smoke. Let's be clear.
Oh, it's gonna be so bad in there.
It smells rank. And I think, like, as we're dropping from the sky, mechs are entering into battle mode. There is, like, a scrambling, with an eerie calm, just, well, boys, time to go to work. Let's make it quick. We'll call it early. Grab drinks afterwards on me. How's that sound?
Am I role-playing your boys?
Yeah, go ahead. Hit it up.
Yeah, these are all newbies. They have no idea what they're getting into. We'll be able to handle them quick enough.
That'll be fine. I mean, we knock off, and I think, like points with the cigarette, like, at the night gallant. Knock off the guard unit, wipe the target off the planet, report back. I figure we're home by dinner.
Dibs on that kill.
hands raised to the sky, and just goes, we all heard it. We all heard dibs were called. You know the rules. Honor among thieves. And like with a fleur, even though I haven't decided if there's cameras, with a twirl of his hands, like, you may proceed. How is Aaron How is Aaron and your forces reacting to all of this?
I think Aaron is pretty gung-ho, but he will I think he's gonna have I don't want to do squad mates because you did squad mates, but I think I'm gonna do mentor. I think he's gonna radio in.
Let's go.
I think he's gonna radio into a captain. Captain Guile. Let's call him Captain Guile. Whatever. That's good enough. He's gonna radio into his mentor and his more or less direct commanding officer.
Sure.
Before, like, he starts to move a little bit, but then thinks better of it. Shouldn't be gun ho. Gotta report this in. Otherwise, no one's gonna know if I get killed in this encounter. So he radios in to his captain. Sir, I've spotted a number of covert ops mechs dropping at coordinates insert here. And waits for a response to give him the okay, all clear to move, though he very much wants to move.
On the other side of the microphone, there's a I didn't think they had it in them.
They seem to be prepared for this.
Well, Upstart, you have your orders, protect the asset at all costs, and that means, congratulations, soldiers. Congratulations, Shoulder. It appears that we are at war. You have your targets. You have your objective. Talk to me when you've won the day.
Yes, Captain. And he's going to charge into battle.
Rock and roll. I am going to tag in my standard weapon. I'm going to raise my standard weapon loadout as guns start blasting immediately. These are untraceable, like, laser weaponry. No shells, no bullets left behind.
Okay.
And they are like miniguns and like pulse cannons. that's what we're cooking on. That's what we're working with.
Gotcha.
And so like immediately, you see the motors, like the turbines start to whir and like laser like it starts to get pelted with laser fire, and like lasers are starting to carve up all sides of the like drop site. The firefight has started.
All right, so that's all the raises we can do, right?
That is correct. That is all the raises, which means we've come to the end. And I will ask you, like, we've come to the end of the bid. We've both raised twice. We are now in a tiebreaker. Which means we are calling it. All bids are final. It is time to call it and see who wins. Announce their final bid. That means saying out loud everything they bet in total and what it defines or destroys. The players decide which bid is the most meaningful. What makes a bid meaningful is subjective. Who is involved and what at stake. The more it relates to a conflict, the more each player's stakes are in the scene, what sets your pilots apart. If there's a tie, we take a moment's pause to think. If we still believe in good faith that the final bids are equal, we can make a tiebreaker. Basically, one of us can opt to destroy something on our sheet and come out the winner. And we can never use that resource again. So, what I have bid as we go to battle, what I have bid, my mechs are in covert ops mode, bearing untraceable laser weaponry, no shells, no bullets left behind, miniguns and pulse cannons. And this is the adjustments deliverable and the tactical elimination unit. This is what is at stake for Cerberus. What is at stake for Aaron?
So he has defined the chaff, the lance cannon, his weaponry there, and his mentor, Captain Guile. I would say what would be at stake here is if he has to come in and save him, I suppose. So I suppose that's on the table, and the Night Gallant itself, of course. Yeah.
Okay. So we have a tiebreaker. Do we feel like one of these sets of bids feels like the winner?
I think we're pretty tit for tat.
Okay.
Do you want to destroy something? Because I think Aaron can learn a little bit of humility early on. I think that might be good for him.
I do want to destroy something.
Uh-huh.
I do want to destroy. I know exactly. I know what I want to destroy. I know what I want to destroy.
Yeah.
My boy. That poor fucker made a call that he was going to go after the kill, and I think that
Aaron
describe the fight and describe destroying the other members of the tactical elimination unit.
I mean, you win, but ultimately you win.
Yeah.
But the fight leading up to his combat with Cowpoke is this sudden approach that's very bold. It probably took your unit a little off guard. And this cannon lance and all this other with the chaff kind of protecting him, the cannon lance firing created kind of an opening for him to move in, and I think he moved quicker than your squad mates may have expected. This is official military hardware you maybe not have gone against yet, since you've been fighting the other nation out there. And so perhaps it moved faster than your squad mates expected, and the cannon lance at one point that the one who called dibs gets bold, moves in, and the cannon lance manages to pivot and pin him, his crab box unit, and just fire point blank on it.
And what I think is great is from Cerberus' side, the tactics the Night Gallant displayed threw our unit off balance. We were scattered, going in we were a unit moving moving with incredible synchronization, and then suddenly we were in an active battlefield, and that was not what we were expecting. So like there's scrambling. Ponyboy made a play to try and take out Night Gallant, and got pinned down and obliterated. And I think like promptly several other members of the TEU like go on the offensive, and like Cerberus is screaming into the screen like, stay on target, do not engage, and like our tactics have been broken. Like our strategy, what we've rehearsed, we've gone off script, and 3 more members of the TEU like descend on the Night Gallant, and it's just it cuts through them like butter, and it just obliterates them. And while this is happening, the councilman who is calling for the false flag has been loaded into like a transport ship. And we see that ship like take off, and Mulroney like sees this and like wants to try and help out his unit, but there's a fucking job. And there's this moment of like, these are people that I have worked with, these are people that I would die for, these are the only people that I care about in this entire goddamn conflict. But goddamn it, I'm not letting that ship get off planet. And as it gets ready to engage its orbital propulsion system, a giant turtle, like a 2-legged turtle mech, like jumps in front of it, and its turbine cannons start to whir. And Aaron, you see that you have failed to protect the councilman as the laser cannons rip this ship into shreds. And there is a moment where all of the mechs that descended upon you are destroyed except one, and there is just this one box with guns like surrounded by the shredded remnants of the ship that you were told to protect. And, the battlefield is just the 2 of us. And what do you do moments before the, like, tractor beam cannon, drags the deliverable off planet?
I would say he tries to square up and engage, obviously failing, but shouting something along the lines of, across laser line, open comms. Like, you mercenary scum, you have no honor!
Moments later, like a calm thing comes on and just says, I remember every one of their names. Before you die, I'll make sure that you do too.
Remember my name, Aaron Bellwright.
I won't be doing that. Click.
Oh, we are bringing like completely opposite energy to this.
It's real good. It feels great. It feels good to just be the farthest opposite ends of the spectrum. It really feels real good. All right. Are we ready for scene 2?
I think so.
Okay. Some time has passed, but for some reason that one battle sticks out in your mind. Maybe you'll meet again. We've got background questions. How would life be worse if your faction won the war? What has life in the war shown that you would have never seen without it? And does your pilot respect the other player's pilot?
I feel like I answered the last one, possibly.
Sure. Yep.
Probably not. At the moment, at least.
I don't know that I respect any. I think the only people that I respect are dead, frankly.
Yeah, I think we don't respect each other at all.
Just pure enmity feels real good to play with.
It's nice. It's a refreshing change. How would life be worse if your faction won the war? Worse if we won the war. I think he's getting a taste of that now, because he failed this mission, and so he's probably been disciplined. It's probably, the classic Gundam 1-2, And it's probably not going too well for him, and so he's having second thoughts that if the war goes hot, his faction wins, and he's just not able to achieve the glory hound status that he wants, because maybe he isn't up to snuff, then he could just die. He could just die meaninglessly in battle, and I think that's starting to set in a little bit for him.
I think there is a moment. And I'm going to answer these like two questions. Well, how would life be worse, and what has life in the war shown that he never would have seen without it? Mm-hmm. Cerberus is in his quarters, is in his bunk, and a siren goes off. And I think for a while, it's autopilot. He gets up, grabs his go bag, heads outside. There is someone shouting at him, waving their arm. He follows the marked route in a hallway. There is a large holding facility. He keeps his head down. It's this big gigantic stone corridor. Everybody is funneled into it. He is he finds a corner, and in this moment, I think a couple things hit him all at once. And I think like after a while, the lights return to normal, and it is not fully clear if this was a drill or like a minor scuffle that was resolved. And I think he kind of has this moment where normally he would do all of this, and the corner that he settles in would be the corner where the TEU chilled. Mm-hmm. This was their smoking corner. And he kind of he goes to say something to someone and there's no one there. And it kind of, a couple things hit him all at once. One, if we stay in this limbo state, this is forever. I don't have, how many more people am I going to lose? And what has the war shown that he never would have seen without it? And also kind of how life would be worse is he has the bomb drill to a point where he can do it on autopilot. Mm-hmm. And now he does not have anybody to talk about it with, and so the thing, it's a lifetime of drills and, protocol, a level of protocol that he would have never experienced had he not been this guy in this job, in this fight. And I think it has stirred him for the first time in this thing of like, Huh. And that
chilling
means
stuff.
And that means that it's time for scene 2. Let's go. Okay, a reunion. Your first encounter with the other pilots since that fateful first encounter. Use one of these suggestions or come up with your own. Assault on a significant base. The first firing of a new super weapon. A meeting between fleets that have prepared for the day.
Well, things have escalated, clearly.
Things have escalated.
Mm-hmm. I think the hawkish faction found themselves more on a back foot than they expected. Mm-hmm. And with that key politician dead, that means that their aims to kind of progress their agenda has been set back a little bit. So in classic fashion, super weapons are on the table at this point.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So it just depends. We want to do super weapon and a base, like attacking the base of said super weapon.
That feels good. I'm picturing like a Star Destroyer, helicarrier kind of vibe.
Yeah,
with the super weapons, with the mechs, with the super weapons tearing. This feels like a good opportunity for the Hawks to do a counterattack, and that's kind of where my head is at. Is the Night Gallant and other mechs have shown up to dismantle this floating orbital base.
Yeah, that sounds good. They're arriving on scene in some kind of giant carrier that is our super weapon, more or less. Our Dolos carrier, our Star Destroyer. That works. And
then, we're on base. The sirens, it's days later, the siren goes off. Cerberus starts to go into autopilot and starts to grab his stuff. And is signaled immediately that this is not a drill. Get in your goddamn mech. And he's like, I'm not really a not really a frontline guy. It does not fucking matter. Get in your mech. Okay. We've got our situation. Mechs of really all shapes, including the deliverable, are pouring out of this base to stare down the super weapon. The player who won, I won scene 1.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I didn't claim my. I realized.
Oh yeah, you get to take a thing or
I get to take
destroy
a thing or destroy a thing.
Yeah.
I would love to. I would love to seize resources, which is I get to add a extra resource that I get to dictate what it is.
Okay.
And I think what I am adding, let's see, I get to gain something useful, right? Whatever it is on your data file, it counts as a defined bid. I've added a resource called the Galactic Spy Apparatus.
Oh, okay.
I think now that the fighting is fully underway, we are my superiors. And I think, like, I have been made, my worst case scenario is that I have been made important at my job.
Yes.
And part of what that entails is the entire galactic intelligence infrastructure. All of the data gathering, all of the dossiers, all of that material is being pointed towards, we want to know everything about every person that is associated with the Hawks and how we can make them hurt. And all of that spy shit is on the table. That is the Galactic Spy Apparatus.
Gotcha. All right.
Okay. So, going back to scene 2, we are at battle now. I won scene 1, which means I may raise a maximum of 2 times. The player who lost may raise a maximum of 3 times.
All right, and then we need to do our initial buy-ins. Yep.
Yes.
I think that Aaron may have changed his initial loadout a little bit.
Okay.
Between that battle and the next, I think he has adopted what is relatively standard issue for his faction laser weapons.
Sure.
Nothing fancy, pretty, straightforward. It's not the special part of his unit and how he's trained. The cannon lance still remains his best friend in that regard. But standard laser rifle, very Gundam Mook officer stuff.
I think I am bidding my reputation.
Oh. I guess you do have a lot to prove now. You're kind of a one-man job.
I have been appointed a problem solver. I have been appointed a fixer of things. This is my fear has come to light that I am important at my job, and I have gone from being a hired gun to the guy that you call when everything is on fire. Because I was the one that successfully assassinated the politician and was the only one that came back after staring down the knight errant.
Yep, you are him. Yeah,
I am him. I don't want to be him, but I am him.
Yep.
And so my reputation is the thing that I am bidding here, which is that I am the problem solver. I am the fixer. I am the wolf.
Awesome.
Okay. Would you like you can bid up to 3 times. I can only bid twice, so why don't you make the first bid?
So I think, and we can you can write a new thing or destroy as a big bid. Yes.
Correct.
Gotcha.
You may place 1 bid to destroy if there is something on your sheet you want to destroy.
Gotcha. Not necessarily yet. So we're dealing with a station here, so I think I want to have him be outfitted with a new mobility system. So something like the Ambach or something like that, which is just kind of a stabilization, like thrusters and stuff. So it's more of a something that he can kind of remove, with a flick of a button, should he need to, because obviously there's a lot of fuel on it. So it is. Let me specify that. Extra. Oh, it's not typing. There we go. There you go.
Yeah, that feels good.
So and it's for participating specifically in this kind of sudden attack on this space fortress, to get in there real quick with his compatriots.
I am bringing in sensors in my tactical suite, and I am writing dark web data gathering software. And I think this is where Aaron sees Cerberus on the field in the deliverable. Cerberus is drops from behind a mech that is been deployed, and air drops from behind and tears into, shoots a mech at a specific angle, and the mech just crumbles, and the mech crumbles and falls to pieces, and it is very clear that I have access to information that I should not have. And I think what we see from the inside of the cockpit is detailed incident reports and field reports, and just everything is being laid out in front of me on every single mech, that I'm if I shoot here, this socket was not repaired properly after a battle, or doing things directing three you see three mechs descend on another pilot, and it's this person is famously too focused on eliminating a single target and gets too far in his head. Deploy multiples, overwhelm him, and take him out that way. And that is how I am fighting, is giving the weak point to things, and that's kind of how I become apparent on the battlefield to Aaron.
Gotcha. All right. I think the next thing I'm going to raise is going to be a support crew, since he had to he's been doing lots of training to try to make up from the failed mission. So I think he has built a relationship with the hangar and comms crew. So, comms officers. And I think the comm officers are going to be the ones to definitely hey, Ensign Bellwright, there's something going on in this sector of the battlefield. Sector N has some action going on that's unexplained, and I think that is how he picks up on what you are doing and how you're operating. Is it comes through his being more plugged into comms, which probably came as a result of hey, Ensign, you need to be more plugged into comms and less reckless. Because
I like that. I really like that.
Yeah.
I've got one more raise, and you've got one more raise. You've got one more raise. What do I want to do? I want to raise something? Do I want to destroy something? I think I do. I think I want to destroy something. I am destroying something. Let me remind myself. Okay, I am bidding a destruction. I am bidding to destroy my covert ops mode. I think we'll dictate, I get to bid that this is destroyed. If you are to win, you get to dictate how that happens.
I see.
But I think this feels like a moment where, the mech that I am piloting can no longer be used in a stealth manner. Like, no matter what, like, I think this feels good to bid this that, you know, my role in the fight is no longer to act in the shadows.
Yes, that tracks, yeah.
So that's that's the next bid that I'm making. Are you making a third bid?
I am. And I'm going to I'm gonna name a signature maneuver that he did last time. I'm gonna just call it I'm gonna call it pile bunker with the lance and the firing of the shot. That's close enough to a pile bunker. Mm-hmm. So a signature maneuver he likes to do is the pile bunker. He's grown fond of it. I think he has, now singled out Cerberus amongst the field in the battle where he was, and has approached him more or less directly, making himself known, not learning any of his lessons, as you do, and is going to attempt a pile bunker, and that's how he's going to kind of open into this. And he's also going to open comms and say, "It's you, that mercenary."
Yeah, great, good. Okay. I think you hear over comms, "I was a mercenary. I've been dragged into being a soldier. Now I get to show you what happens when I've been put into that position."
It's a good comeback.
Okay. So now the fight begins. What I have bid is destroying my covert ops mode and playing and defining my dark web data gathering software.
Mm-hmm. And the problem solver, right?
And the problem, you're right, and the problem solver.
So those three, and then I did standard issue laser rifle, extra thrusters, comms officers, and pile bunker. Was that too many? That was too many, right?
That's four. That's three raises.
Oh,
pile bunker,
buy-in and
buy-in one. Yeah. So you've got four on
Gotcha.
the field. I think that you're taking this.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're taking this. I think this is. I mean, tell me how you're feeling, if you're feeling differently, but I think like we have put ourselves in a position where this is a face-to-face conflict, and I think that you wipe the floor.
Yeah, I think Aaron spent many a night, drilling, going over combat sims, just because this was a big hit to his ego. A lot of long nights. So I agree. I think he wins this one.
Okay. Do you want to claim resources or deal damage?
That's a tough one. I think it would make more sense to deal damage.
Okay.
I guess I could do you a favor and destroy your reputation as a problem solver, and then you're not the most important guy at the office anymore.
That's true. You could do that.
I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
And you get to decide how it falls apart, right? In terms of your reputation. Yeah. Gotcha.
I think there's a distinct parallel here.
Mm-hmm.
I do, and I'm going to beat the hell out of myself for this later. I do exactly the same thing that my squad mates did. I break formation, I break tactics, and I go for a face-to-face assault.
At least you're behaving like a soldier this time.
And my mech is not built for that, and I think that also flavors the destruction of the covert ops mode, is that like my mech is damaged and kind of has to be rebuilt a little bit.
Makes sense.
And you just outgun me.
Yeah, I think he'll go in for the signature pile bunker move. It won't quite land, but it will damage, that covert ops mode. Like, perhaps it slides off of a surface. It scrapes off some, very useful things that should not be scraped off.
Yeah,
but the actual pile bunker explosion just, whiffs completely.
For sure. I think maybe it sends me, maybe it goes off and it doesn't catch me directly, but it sends me hurtling in a way that I crash into a wall and having crashed my car into a railing, I can say.
Have you? How recently? Are you okay?
This was years ago.
Okay.
Years ago, I was on a highway. I had a tire blowout, and I spun out, and I smashed a guardrail.
Terrifying.
It was fine. I walked away fine, but the car sure as shit didn't, but I did. And I think it's car, mech, or otherwise, the machine don't quite work right after that.
Oh yeah, there's only so much haptic protection can do, you know, to the cockpit.
And I think you outgun me, you tear into the mech. I barely escape with my life, and the base is in tatters. What is your side's objective? Are you destroying the base? Are there targets that you're hitting? What does victory look like?
We discussed some kind of secret weapon being the carrier.
Sure.
So I imagine it is to just kind of decimate this base, get this secret weapon, this carrier into place, and it's just gonna
goes. It just goes.
Giant laser down straight into the command structure.
And what I think is great about that is that escalates the elimination of my reputation so thoroughly, because I was prominent in the military of a base that no longer exists.
Yeah, upgrading from problem solver to
survivor.
Cursed survivor.
Fuck yeah. Good shit. Okay. Scene 3, our final battle. Look at what was destroyed and what was not. The war's coming to an end. Everyone knows it. We can't agree on who will win. That means we're going to see that one pilot again soon. What does your pilot want from the other players? Pilot, what would you think of each other if you had met in more peaceful times? If you did leave the war, what would be waiting for you?
I think the motivation of Aaron Bellwright to be a glory hound, to chase this military glory and success, means that he actually does not have much waiting for him back home. It's why he's dedicated himself to this mindset, to this life. He's a relatively lonely, self-isolated individual. No idea why. I think, what does your pilot want from the other player's pilot? I don't want to be flippant and say to die, because you escaped his attempt to actually kill you, but I think Aaron might be flippant and just be like, he wants you dead.
I think
it's a damn shame you keep escaping.
I think if we had met in a more peaceful time, I think I could have taught this kid something.
Oh yeah, in a way that his captain hadn't, Yeah.
This poor fuck.
Yep.
has bought the company line, hook, line, and sinker, and I could have taught this kid the way of the actual world. I think that the thing I want is to clear the smoke from your eyes.
Ooh.
I don't just want to beat you. I want you to see. I want to beat you in a way that shows you that everything you've done is pointless.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And I think the brutal thing is that my answer of what's waiting for me is exactly the same, which is I don't got anything waiting for me. What's waiting for me is whatever the next horrible paycheck is.
Oof.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds about right.
We've got some options for our final scene, or we can decide something. It is in the heart of the largest battle the war has seen, or alone, just the two of us in a desolate place.
Man, 1 and 2 were big battles. I think we should dial it down.
I think where are you ambushed alone?
Inside that doomsday carrier. It's large enough to have mech fights inside of.
Hell
so just
yeah.
inside of that, he like literally wakes up to alarms going off and has to suddenly suit up and get ready while the carrier is, listing from side to side. The gravity is failing here and there, and lights begin to, flicker on and off. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the set. Here's every. I love that. I love the alarms. I love everything. I love that you get suited up. You sit in the cockpit, and then the lights turn on, and you see a modified deliverable. Tapping and not destroy it because I can't bid to destroy it just yet. But the Galactic Spy apparatus and the dark web data gathering software have done their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And
you're in, yeah.
I am not only in, I have coerced the people necessary to sound an alarm in only your wing.
Oh my god!
To like somebody got a message with incriminating photos that said sound an alarm in sector 7G. Like somebody else got a video of like family members that was like, babe, I am begging you. When Upstart gets into the mech, leave the lights turned off until Upstart is in the mech. And sure enough, the alarm goes off in your sector. You get into your mech, you suit up, the lights turn on, and a highly modified, and here is my buy-in. I have changed my tactical I have defined my tactical specialty to reflect how how my mech has been modified for this conflict, which is I am a mobile walking missile array.
Dear God.
There is a degree of missiles on my mech now that are frankly inadvisable.
I see. All right, I think the buy-in for him is going to have to do with prior to this a reputation of being a loyal soldier. I think that goes with his direction so far, and not questioning the questions he should. So, all right, we are at the raise stage. What's the limit for this one?
We may make any number of bids to destroy. We may each bid raise a maximum of 3 times.
Okay, all right. This is just everything all at once then, I suppose.
That's rock and roll. Rock and fucking roll. I'm gonna go as the person that lost last time. I'll go ahead and go first. And I will raise. What am I raising here? I'm gonna destroy immediately. Because I think on all of the screens that have lit up, the signs of battle are blasting outside. And I am destroying the Galactic Spy apparatus. Shit is on fire outside.
Okay.
And I think on the comms you just hear, well, win or lose, you're in a war, kid.
And it will be in that war that I make my name. And he's going to signature weapon 2, fist. He's going to punch or try to punch because you're really close, right? You described yeah. The deliverable is really close. He's going to try to just punch it because he's his mech's in that standing still position. So we're just going in. I am countering this with my signature weapon 1, which is a laser railgun. Oh, yeah.
I think, because I think what I want is, you come in with the fist and a laser, flies in a way that, like, carves some of your mech, like a hot knife through butter. Like,
cleaves that arm off, yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's good.
So that's two. That's two for me. So that's you got two more.
Gotcha.
This is raise number 2.
Raise number 2. I think, just to keep it kind of fun and flavorful, I'm gonna give him a command horn. So this is like, something that matches, like just denotes that he got a promotion for this of some kind that you can visibly see, and immediately suffering the consequences of his actions. What a worthless, unique customization.
Hell yeah. Great. Rock and roll. I like this. And I like that there's a degree of oh, well, look at that. I guess they've run out of grown-ups to make the officers, and they've resorted to the children. How cute. Shame it's all going to be for nothing at the end of this. And I am tagging a raise, my final raise. I did it while you were speaking because I know exactly what I'm tagging. I think like the missiles start arming and the weapons start arming and the turbines start whirring because I have tagged my social strat of nothing left to lose and nowhere left to drop. Like,
yeah.
I got nothing left. I got nothing left in the tank. I got nothing left in the chamber. And I want to eviscerate I want to eviscerate the Knight Gallant so you have everything taken away from you so that I can show you the emptiness that the war is waiting for you.
This false temple that he's built.
This is all I got. This is all I got left. This is the only thing left I'm holding on to. Gotcha.
Yeah. I think what he said, what Cerberus said, is like, cuts in a little too close to home, and obviously he's staggering back, reacting to this. I think he is going to. I think I'm going to destroy a bid.
Okay.
I think he's going to overcoms, just say like, I'll put you in your grave, old man, and then he's gonna flip on some like emergency comms with the bridge, and possibly find that the people on the bridge may have been handled or dealt with. Which then forces him to like use some other like very like hard coded emergency stuff and to set off alarms. And so this fight is definitely going to end with a lot more exploding, probably.
Oh, yeah. This entire docking bay area is probably not surviving.
Yeah.
Whoever walks away from this is probably doing so in some kind of escape pod.
Come in. Is anyone there? We're under attack.
There's no kid. There's nobody left. I'm gonna hurt you, but I need you to recognize that before I do. There's no one left.
You're gonna try, and you're gonna fail.
I think loyal until the very end may be the saddest thing in this entire conflict. All right, we have made our raises. Our final thing is I have destroyed the Galactic Spy Apparatus. Mm-hmm. I have tagged nowhere else to lose, nowhere left to drop, and I have activated my laser rail gun and my mobile walking missile array.
Yeah. I activated Fist.
Activate Fist.
He's gained a reputation as a loyal soldier. The buy-in was a pile bunker. No, that was never mind. That was last buy-in. And then there was a command horn added. And then I did a destroy bid for the comms officers on the bridge of this very ship. I think you take this one. In my opinion.
I think I eviscerate. I think it's just, and I think like it's just this mech was rebuilt with the singular purpose of just eviscerating the Knight Gallant.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
And I think, I want to destroy something, and I want to know, especially as we're heading into the end.
Sure.
I want to destroy. I know. I see what I want to destroy, especially as we head into the ending. I am destroying Loyal Soldier. Tell me what that looks like.
I think being abandoned here, having no one to come to answer his calls, this camaraderie, this sense of like brotherhood he probably built within like a wider military, not having any true friends, but having, the sense of oneness that comes with being some part of something larger than yourself, the classic talking points. I think all of that begins to shatter, and he realizes slowly over this fight that no one is coming to help him in this fight. Everyone's been handled. Everyone's dead. Everyone's preoccupied. Everyone has abandoned ship, and he's stuck here with you facing death. I think what it looks like is a bit of an increasing meltdown as he can't quite come to terms with this. He just wants to finish the mission, but there is no mission to finish.
I think I love the picture of like that desperation in combat of like, you come in with the cannon lance and you get obliterated with missiles, and you fly in with the fist and the arm gets carved off. And it's just every opportunity. And it's just, and I think like there is a degree, like, I think like, that's the thing that also defeats Cerberus a little bit, is like you keep coming, and eventually like, we have this, like, everything is burned, right? Like the missiles have been fired, the lasers have been discharged, and there's just a degree of like, you're half piloted like Monty Python Black Knight of a mech is just like hurtling, and like I like latch onto it with a hook and like drag it into the ground, and I activate the missile, like, and I like arm the final missiles on the thing, kind of directly mirroring how you killed my squad mate in the first scene. And I'm just like, kid, arm the escape procedure. Don't let me do this.
I think he is in dead silence for a moment. Things have slowed down ever since you like hooked him and pulled him away. Aaron doesn't know what to do. He begins just without even thinking about it, hitting the escape procedures. I don't even know if he heard what Cerberus suggested. At this point, he was already on his way to do it.
And, we see the escape pod fly away. We see the deliverable, like, kind of squat down. And it's, like, weighed down by these, like, missile bays that are attached. And it's just, like, and slumping in his chair, cigarette in hand, is just sort of, well, I guess that's that. And so we come to our ending. We look at what was destroyed and what was not. There may be items you chose to seize or harm the other player. Decide which faction won the war. What our pilots think of their motive on their data files now. Did we achieve our goals? What will the next war be fought over, and will our pilots be a part of it?
Well, the collective won. They two victories versus one victory. I think.
I think we quashed the Hawk. Like, I think
yes, the Hawkish
part of this
has been quashed.
Was quashed, and I think going back to the motive, I'm not thrilled with it.
I think Aaron is very bitter. I think after this, he wanted to get back into battle, but obviously, if the war is over, the only thing waiting for him is being probably tried as a war criminal. So I don't imagine he's too thrilled about that at the moment. No, I don't think he has achieved his motive, and I think he's quite bitter about it, and probably sees how futile it was. Yes,
and I think like I think there's a shared moment. And like the truth is that the next war will be fought in either the exact same way, or ultimately the Hawks will probably get what they want and the war will go hot at one point or another. Like,
yeah, I imagine there were like several respectable politicians that remained neutral on this matter, who were secretly backing the hawkish faction, but
and so
have,
another one of them will emerge in 6 months.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time. But I don't think Aaron Bellwright is going to be in that war.
I don't think Cerberus Mulroney is either. I think it's over. I think that, like, give a short image of your pilot sometime after scene 3. Use up to 2 or 3 resources from your data file as inspiration. I think I was just thinking about this earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
And I do also think, for as funny as for this to be a worst case scenario, I know exactly where I am, and it is, I got bird noticed. That's for sure what has happened here. I'm looking at what is destroyed.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I got word that, like, I'm sitting on a beach somewhere, and, like, I, like, have the cigarette in hand,
Mm-hmm.
and, like, everyone around me is, like, laughing with drinks, and I am wearing the same leather jacket that I've been wearing this whole time, and the same long pants that I've been wearing this whole time. And, like, I'm in a little bit of the Shinji pose, like, in the chair.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And everyone around me is having a blast, and I'm just like, I want nothing less than to be, on a permanent vacation. At least, and it's like, I don't even want to be part of the war, but, like, I was a man who defined himself as his ability to do a job, and now that job is gone, and I've got nothing left.
You got the opposite of a job.
Yeah,
Negative job.
Right. I built my life around one thing, and they took that thing away, and I realized I didn't even want the thing that I trained myself on, so now it's just, what am I?
I think, I mentioned it a little offhand, but I think Aaron Bellwright gets charged as a war criminal for this uprising that failed.
I love that we see the glimpse of that on the TV at the bar.
Yeah, at the bar.
I'm just sitting with a drink and a cigarette, and I'm just like, and, like, I feel nothing, and that's also part of it, is like, I got what I wanted. So fucking what?
And Aaron Bellwright, when asked, if he had anything to plea, he basically says something along the lines of, I blindly chased glory, and now I understand how empty that pursuit was, and that it cost untold lives and needless struggle within the collective. I place myself at the mercy of the board.
Kid could have been an incredible soldier if they hadn't taught him to be a loyal one.
That's a good moral.
And that's it.
Kind of. I don't know.
That's it. That's game, baby.
Yeah.
Damn. What a good nice fucking story. This went crazy. Thank you so much for this. What was your favorite moment from play?
Oh man, I like your ambush in scene 3. That was good.
That felt really good. I really enjoyed that. The thing I really enjoyed was, you said it a few times, but, like, the fact that we were building 2 mechs from very different genres and putting them against each other was very fun to see that contrast continually play out. Really fun to see you, like, eviscerate the mechs in very Gundam-ish fashion, and fun to be like, all right, here's what a bunch of, like, clunky Battletech robots are doing in this moment and how they're fighting.
It was very Gundam IBO in a number of ways because of that contrast, because it has a little bit there. It has these mobile workers that are much smaller and, like, are more what you would see in Battletech in terms of how they operate.
Really good.
Yeah.
This was such a joy. Thank you so much for this.
Oh, no, thank you for having me. This was great.
So real quick, before we wrap up, where can people find you and your work online?
You can find me on Blue Sky now. And I guess Twitter still exists, but I don't use it anymore for obvious reasons.
Does it? Does it really?
Yeah, it's not in a way that is usable. But you can find me on Blue Sky at amac.bluesky.social. You can listen to Feddie Scum, my Gundam podcast, if you liked what you listened to here, I suppose. I also have a Vampire the Masquerade, audio drama that I'm working on called Blood and Sun that you can search up. It's ongoing. And then obviously I was here to promote The Disappearances of Lydia Fountayne, so give that a listen if you haven't.
Hell yeah, this was such a joy. Thank you so much for this. And for now, I'm going to throw it over to me in the future so that he can wrap up with the show. Take it, future me. And I'm going to... Thanks, past me. And thanks again to Adam for coming on the show. I was blown away by that game, that experience, that story. It really fucking just knocked me off my feet. It really got me excited. What a game, what a story, what an experience, what a conversation. Be sure to check out both The Disappearances of Lydia Fountayne and Feddie Scum wherever you get your podcasts, or you can head to lydiadisappears.com and feddiescum.com for more information. And follow Adam on Blue Sky at amac.bsky.social. If you enjoyed this episode and you want to hear more of it, there's one thing that you can do to support the growth of the show right now, and that is go onto social media and tag someone that you would love to hear as a guest on the show. Also tag Party of One at Party of One Podcast or partyofone.bsky, wherever it is. What that does is, as we reach out to guests who are farther and farther from the game space, it gives us an easy foot in the door, and it allows us to kind of say, like, hey, look, our fans are asking us to reach out to you. Like, this is an opportunity. Your fans are making a demand. That's helped us land some guests in the past, and we've gotten some interest there, and I think it's a useful thing. So if there are people that you're like, man, I would love to hear that person on the show, let us know and let them know on social media that you'd love to hear it happen. We can always follow up via an email, but like, that's such a good first step because there's a energy of, oh wow, people are saying that they'd love to hear me on the show. Let me check it out and let me make something happen. Party of One is produced and edited, as always, by Jeff Stormer and Jen Frank. All music for the show comes from the song Infinite Lives by Mega Ran featuring the D&D Sluggers, and the Party of One logo is by Evan Rowland. If you'd like to inquire about advertising rates coming on the show as guests or about press coverage, you can email me at partyofonepodcast@gmail.com. And I think that's all we do here, so until next time, thank you so much for listening. Remember to fight the forces of fascism every single day. Remember that self-love and self-care are radical and defiant acts of resistance, and as always, party on, everybody.
Never gonna die.